One of the things I like about perfumery is the creativity behind the making of fragrances, especially the inspiration. And what we have here with Le Chant De Camargue from L'Artisan Parfumé is very, very unique as far as the inspiration and the creation of this fragrance. It's created by Alberto Morillas. The guy gets around. He makes so many fragrances, and we have a very, very unique fragrance as far as the smell goes for you that I'm going to talk to you about. So in this review, I'm going to review Le Chant De Camargue from L'Artisan Parfumé. You're also going to have a chance at winning a full bottle of Le Chant De Camargue if you are a subscriber of this channel from the entire world. So if you want to find out about this very, very unique fragrance, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time tuning into my channel and you love watching fragrance reviews, finding out about new fragrances, very unique fragrances like Le Chant De Camargue, discovering new brands, and of course participating in giveaways and still haven't subscribed, please click that subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So Le Chant De Camargue basically means the song of Camargue. Camargue is a region of France that I've actually visited. On my very, very first trip to France, made a special arrangement to actually drive through that area. Only because we love the salt that comes from there, fleur de sel, and we buy it in a little container, and the whole inspiration of that little section of our trip is to go see the Camargue. And we had actually researched it and knew that there were horses running around, there was flamingos there, rice fields, marshes, just you name it, it's just all there. So it was along the coast, just south of Arles, I believe, but we drove around and went to that region and really saw what the Camargue was. So when this fragrance was launched, I was very, very curious because I wanted to see if they've captured the entire region, and boy, they sure have. So this is Le Chant De Camargue from L'Artisan Parfumé. It's a 2019 launch. It's EDP Eau de Parfum concentration. Again, the perfumer, as I mentioned, is Alberto Morillas, and it's a 100 ml bottle for $165. Alberto Morillas gets around. I mean, he makes so many fragrances, especially all the ones for Gucci. He makes fragrances for his own line, Mise en Cire, and then there's fragrances for L'Artisan, Penhaligon's. He is very, very busy guy. So this Le Chant De Camargue is part of a collection of fragrances called Les Paysages, and it pays tribute to French landscapes, which is really, really cool. I like fragrances that have a story behind them and inspirations of areas that you can visit in a country. So there were other fragrances in this collection, one called Bucoliques de Provence, Mandarin Corsica, Un Air de Bretagne. Own all three of them. Great, great releases. Very, very unique. Bucoliques de Provence is about Provence. Mandarin Corsica is about Corsica, the island. Un Air de Bretagne is the region of Brittany. Then you also have Mont De Narciesse, which is about Auvergne, a region. I've traveled a lot in France, actually driven through. And then finally the new one is Camargue, a region that I've been to. So very, very unique fragrance. So what do we have for notes here? You've got top notes of bergamot, heart notes of rice, Paradisone, and Hedione. So you've got two different molecules here in the heart. And then the base notes, you've got sandalwood. So not a lot going on, but the two molecules that they use here, Paradisone, which I actually had to look up. It's a trademark Firmenich molecule, and it's basically a floral, flowery kind of a molecule or note, or you know, whatever they call those trademarked notes, and it smells like jasmine, gardenia, magnolia, all of those kind of combined. So that's one thing that they use here in the heart notes. And then there's also Hedione, and Hedione has been used a lot in perfumes. Paradisone is the first time I heard about it, and I didn't find a lot of fragrances that were with it, but Hedione, it's all over the place. It's in a lot of men's fragrances, and I believe it was also in Fahrenheit. And Hedione is also another one that smells like jasmine. So those both in the heart notes. But the fragrance to me doesn't really have a top note for me. It actually, the bergamot there, as you spray it, I rarely pick it up. I hardly pick it up, I should say. It's very, very faint because immediately it gets powdery, and the rice takes over. So the rice takes over, and then there's lots of floral notes, but the floral notes are very, very hard to make out. You can't really tell if you're smelling jasmine. You can't really tell if you're smelling gardenia, magnolia. I find that it's a little of all of those notes just blended so much that you can't really like pinpoint what each one is or distinguish the notes, but just imagine a bouquet of white flowers. But when I say a bouquet of white flowers, it's not ultra feminine. This is not a feminine fragrance to me at all, especially because it's got that rice. There's powdery touches here with that rice, along with all of the molecules that are mentioned, like the Paradisone and Hedione, that smell like flowers. So it is floral, but it's very, very complementing with the rice, which kind of like smooths out the floral touches. I mean, Hedione is supposed to be a note apparently used in lots of masculine fragrances. Apparently, is what I read, and even though it's supposed to smell like or smells like jasmine, so this doesn't scream feminine, but it is very, very powdery, and I experienced it right off the bat. Like that bergamot at the top is very, very short-lived, as I said, and the rice just pretty much takes over. Now, overall, the fragrance dries down to a milky, creamy sandalwood, my favorite kind of sandalwood, but the sandalwood is also very, very ricey, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like, just imagine that rice very much blended with the sandalwood note, and so you don't really pick up a lot of the definite, like, distinguishable sandalwood smell, because the rice is dominating the entire fragrance for me in this fragrance. Now, the other thing I also want to mention, it does get milky. It is milky, and just imagine rice milk. I'm thinking of rice milk because it's available for purchase and use. But I also find the fragrance very salty, very, very savory, salty. So I can see that as a inspiration because, you know, you've got the marshlands there in the south in the Camargue where there's a salt. It's very, very salty. There's also lots of aquatic touches here. So a very, very unique fragrance. For me, the inspiration is awesome. I really love the inspiration. And of course, the saltiness is very, very unique and aquatic with this fragrance. I love the bottle design work, the box as well. As you can see, to me, it looks like pink water. And I visualize pink flamingos when I see the box. And of course, when I went to the Camargue for the first time, I've only been there one time. It was back in 2006, the very first trip to France I took. And I saw flamingos there, and I was like, wow, flamingos. And then, way down to the beach, there was surfing going on, and you know, it was very, very interesting experience. If you ever make it to France and are curious about this area, definitely go. But I think Alberto Morillas has actually captured a great, the inspiration of the fragrance is truly captured here in this fragrance. I enjoy it. It's very unique. I've had people smell it and they've also enjoyed it, but to me, it's not your traditional kind of a fragrance. It's not like something that you would smell. And then actually, to me, it's also not very similar to what Alberto Morillas has done. So it's got a very unique structure to it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on L'Artisan Parfumer's Le Chant de Camargue. Let me know your thoughts. Have you tried it? Are you curious to try something like this with rice and milky sandalwood and the synthetic, with the molecules that I was mentioning, Paradisone and Hedione, and of course salty, savory touches? Let me know if that sounds great to you. And if you want to participate in a full bottle giveaway for Le Chant de Camargue, as I said, it's a full bottle giveaway, a worldwide giveaway, thanks to the wonderful folks at L'Artisan Parfumer. Please let me know what your favorite savory fragrance is. That's what I'm going with this one. It's salty to me, but I'm going with more savory, salty than sweet. There's no sweetness to this. The only sweetness I get with this one is from the floral touches in the Paradisone and Hedione. Anyway, put your country down as well, and please like this video, and also please make sure you're subscribed so that you qualify. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching this video review for L'Artisan Parfumer's Le Chant de Camargue. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.